Hey, YouTube. We don't need another avatar. We don't need another avatar. We just need to find our way home. All we need is to find our way back to the Thunderdome. Everybody say, we don't need another avatar. We don't need another avatar. Hey, Lincoln Berries. Cheryl Burnett, how y'all doing? I am Mrs. Ricks. Hi, Tracy. Tracy, we gonna stay right off the top here. We don't want nobody in the beef sector to take this stuff personally, but it's time that we discuss all these damn avatars. Now, why am I so inspired? Hi, Erica J, Sandra Mitchell, TLC and 3. It came to mind because I watched 3 of the last videos that I watched. They're all basically saying the same thing, and it addresses these damn avatar takeover. So now we all know that pretty much all the content creators now, with the exception of the old heads, are speaking behind avatars, and I have a few things to say about it as well. So let's give credit where credit is due. I first heard about this last night with Rick Reed. Then I heard Bradley's talking about the same thing, or parts of their videos. And then, strangely enough, I actually saw a VS video, which I haven't seen one of those since she's been back. But apparently this one, she's discussing the same issue. The reason why I haven't watched any of hers, yes, I still do have resentments about things that occurred in the last round with her. But basically, because every time you go to that channel, you can't go back. You got to pick it up wherever you come in. And if you don't know what the hell they're talking about, it's not worth listening to it, right? So anyway, so VS was talking about this as well, and you can actually skip back. She went on to explain why she will not allow you to go back, Red Ball, as far as people stealing content and so forth. But what I want to focus, my throat. I ain't did nothing. Trust me, I ain't did nothing. It's been a long time. Been such a long time since I had some. Tell me, how long has it been? Y'all don't want to know. This issue, a long time ago, when Sir King came on here with all this avatar shit, and he had an avatar nation, and then we start seeing people joining in the avatars. These new people came in, they all behind avatars. Nobody knows what nobody looks like, right? Fat people behind the screen calling other people fat people, girl. Then they have camera slips, and we see that, oh, you are also a fat people as well, right? So whatever. Everybody ended up in behind these avatars. Now even the real beef sector original people, they're behind avatars, and it's the avatar. And I think what we've allowed this to become is not a very interesting thing, because I personally can only speak for myself. I can't sit in front of a screen and watch a little bouncing ball talk for 2 or 3 hours. It doesn't make sense, people. People wonder why there's slacking always. Well, in the beef sector, all you have to do is have one day when nobody talking about anything, and they say, "Oh, that's the end of the beef sector. It's boring over there." All that. I said, "Well, goddamn, they were just talking about Adobe for 40 videos 2 days ago." So whatever, that's how it is over here. But anyway, what was I just talking about? I was talking about these damn avatars. So now we can't criticize each other because everybody's behind an avatar. I have never been behind an avatar. I just don't like that. I think that the reason why television took over the radio is because of the video part is what made it interesting, right? And radio became almost obsolete. Only time people listen to a radio is if they're going to work or they're in their cars, right? They're still putting car radios, right? Because you can't watch the screen. You don't need a screen. So in that respect, yes, people who are listening to beef sector or any sector on YouTube, if they're in a car or they're doing something where they can't be looking at the screen, or they're at work and they're just listening kind of thing, I guess that's fine, right? But for us who are actually engaged, however, it makes no sense to sit up here with all these bouncing balls. Only a few people at first, and now y'all letting Sir King and his Avatar Nation take over the whole damn thing. I don't know about these panels. I don't find them particularly productive. I can't understand what people are talking about. So it's almost never that I go over there anyway. But all of everybody behind the avatar. Very rarely. There's only a few of us that even come online anymore. And it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you want to listen to a radio if you can watch the big screen? I don't know how y'all think about it, but I do see that 3 people are talking about the same thing today. So I think it's worth talking about. I hate it. I hate that it's taken over like this, because what content creators are on here, particularly in this sector, we are personalities, right? Because we're all basically saying the same thing. We're all talking about the same shit. It is the tradition in this place to constantly repeat the same things over and over. Things that happened 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. We still, when we come at each other, we'll still use that information, right? That's just what this is, and people apparently find it entertaining. However, this brain ain't gonna work today. I can see that. I'm starting to lose things as I'm speaking, and I don't smoke weed, honey. Okay, so where was that now? I'm trying to stay on the damn avatars. Okay, so we're personalities on here. You're not really, people are not really engaged with you as a personality if you're simply on the radio. That died out in the 1950s, right? First we had the black and white TVs. Everybody had one TV in the house. They all gathered around and watched the few shows that were on there then. Then it came out with the color TVs, Then they had portable, where everybody had a TV in their room. And so now it's not so much television, it's all about this internet stuff. And so this end of the YouTube has been about people with these personalities. And I can only think of maybe 5 people that still come online. Do y'all like this? I mean, is it less entertaining when you're just talking to a bunch of avatars? Now, we know the ladies go over there and do their thing with the yelling and screaming and all that, and that's fine. Other people have their own way of doing things. I'm not even necessarily criticizing that Avatar Nation, but I saw trouble when they brought their ass over here, and now everybody doing the same goddamn thing. Right? It's become less and less interesting, right? So you depend on these people who do come live to actually kick off a story so that everybody else can feed off of it. Are you going to purchase your juicycation? Girl. No, I already have a towel to wipe my dog shit up with. If I needed to if my dog's hair gets too long, then you got to wipe the booty, right? Because it get poop in the hair around the booty hole. So that's the only purpose I would have for a juicycation t-shirt, right? And they still over talking about this. That's a 3. Vivian, listen to me. Focus up. Vivian, when Calvin Klein and these designers, when they make clothing, they don't go out there on the stage with the clothing on. Okay. If you want to advertise something and you want people to buy it, then it has to look good. All those rows and rows and rows you got going on, girl. Why are you modeling the clothing, girl? You just design it, if you want to call that a design. And also, you should be able to read what's on a t-shirt, because when people see a t-shirt, generally speaking, it's just in passing. If they can't read it just in passing, girl, then it serves no purpose. So yes, those t-shirts are a disaster, and I will not be purchasing. Thank you. Why are you looking tired? Knucklehead. What am I looking? You looking tired, knickered, and old. Girl, let me get rid of your ass right off the top. ZS. Oh, now we got a ZS. Let me go ahead and remove you. Help you, baby. Find you somewhere to play with, girl, because I don't know you. You can't just come over here in my house with the insults, Miss Day. Uh-huh. What y'all think about all this Avatar shit, child? What y'all it's going to become so boring over here, child, that people are just not even going to be bothering to watch because every day there are new sectors on YouTube. There are different people, and even if we do the best we can do, people are going to get tired of this shit. They move on to something else, girl. It's the nature of the beast. So we have to keep it interesting. So the only thing we really had to offer were different personalities. As I was saying earlier, we're covering the same stories. We're talking about the same shit. You're just adding a personality to it. And then you're not even giving them a person to connect with. If you like this person's sense of humor or you like their take on things there, then you'll watch them because you like them. But hell, if all they're giving you is a bouncing ball, what is there like? Anyway, there's got to be a reason. I thought Rick Reed's an intelligent guy, particularly with this his observations about this beef sector stuff. So I generally do listen to him, and he was saying yesterday what I've been thinking all along. The primary problem with the beef sector is these damn avatars. There's no persons here. There are no people here. We're just recycling the same old read. I mean, how many more times can I talk about Jay Wilson's degrees and his house, girl, and his fat ass? Jay Wilson, bring back the fat so I have some more commentary, girl. I want to see that big ass titties come back, honey. Okay. I don't watch anyone. Okay, I don't watch anyone behind a computer drag. Right. Because you don't know a damn thing about these people, honey. Now, first I said, well, maybe the women are doing that because they don't want to go through all this stuff to get all ready, like they go into a job just to sit down here for an hour, right? But the men are doing the same thing. Well, what's their excuse, right? Y'all don't let King Jive. I mean, Sir, excuse me, King Jive. That was frauding slip. Sir King lead y'all into the ditch, right? Now everybody was criticizing when he came on here with that bullshit. He can't show his face and all this stuff, child. And then we done sit up here and let that take over. It's just internet stuff. It does seem to change constantly, of course, and we all tend to get on the bandwagon. So a lot of the people who are behind avatars don't have to be behind the avatar. It's only about turning your camera on, talking, child, right? But one thing, we always tend to follow each other. So it's just everybody else is on. This is what he was saying. Reed was saying last night. Since everybody else is on Avatar, I might as well be on one too. Right? That's how this thing tends to be. It was only a couple of years ago when nobody went live. I can remember a time when nobody went live on YouTube, right? There was only one, Justin J, I remember, would come on Wednesdays and he would do live videos. That was his stick initially, from what I remember. Then slowly other people start doing live, then everybody doing live now. And I just don't see that is what the benefit really is. The only benefit is that you guys, I can see your comments on the side there. Everyone in the beef sector, all the videos are live now. Nobody bothers to do uploads. That's a thing in the past. So we know it's all going to constantly change. But we need to change back to actual people on YouTube. We want to see you. Right? It's much interesting. Think about going to a movie theater and they just have a bouncing ball tell you the whole movie. That's what radio was. You know, they used to do the dramas and detective shows. All that was on radio. Right? Why? And you can have the whole video. Why would looking at a ball be more interesting? I'm jumping all over the place. Uh-huh. I ain't dragging nobody. Lincoln Berry. Who we dragging? We dragging the whole beef sector now. Y'all need to get off them damn those avatars. Come back to where we want to watch you, right? I'm not drawn to go over to somebody's page just to watch a bouncing ball. Correct. There are exceptions. Like I said, if people were in their car, they're listening. It doesn't make a difference if you're live or not. If I am on the street and I have my headphones on, I'm listening to stuff, Obviously, I'm not seeing your faces and all that, but primarily I'm sitting in front of my screen, and you got to keep it interesting, honey. That's why all these movies got all these goddamn shit flying out the sky and all these special effects and all this stuff to keep you interested. It's visual, audio, and visual. So I don't know if other sectors are doing the same thing. It seems contagious to me, but we need to roll that part back, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. See what else y'all say. I know y'all got an opinion on this stuff. I would love to know what your opinions are about it. I mean, it's fine for you guys to be on avatars because you're not content. You're not in front of the screen talking, right? There's no way you could have all of you all live on here, girl. Hi, the Sparkle Covington. Mm-hmm. Different perspectives, right? You got this. You want to. People want to get to know you, your personality, whatever. How you gonna read each other if you don't know anything about each other? You can get behind a bouncing ball and lie about every goddamn thing, girl. What? We can't even read you, right? I mean, you could have knocked me unconscious with a feather when what was his name? Beef in 313, Troy Allen. When he showed the Jay Wilson got out of that chair, I said, "Oh, girl, who's that?" Big old fat motherfucker had the nerve to fat shame somebody, girl. They've called up constantly. They called Octavius last week, right? He didn't look like what his avatar looked like. You got people, even in my fiction, I have people on there, girls, using pictures that are 15, 20 years old. You have no idea. You're talking to an old man, right? You think you flirting with a hot, sexy man. It might be an old 80-year-old woman sitting up there laughing at her TV, girl. You don't know. Why are you hiding for? People don't want to show themselves because they don't like how they look. Well, fix yourself up. If you don't like how you look, fix yourself up. Everybody ain't got to be gorgeous either, honey. If you got a good brain, come and use your brain. I know my gorgeousness years is way, way the hell behind me, girl. I don't give a fuck about that. But you just accept yourself for who you are, child. You're not hideous. If you're hideous, put a little rouge on, some lipstick or something, girl. It was working before. Why did it stop working? Now, why is it so imperative now to be behind an avatar? It wasn't imperative before they started going behind there, before Sir King start coming over acting like it's the movement, honey. No, I'm not saying he's no mover and shaker. That's just the one I remember started talking that shit. Ooh, black screen is the worst. I won't even bother that in protest. TLC and 3. That's that stone creature. She goes black screen. She don't even bother with the avatar. Ooh, it's gonna be hot. Look at that. I'm sweating already. God dog it. We getting our warm days. San Francisco. We've been God has been kind to us up until now, considering how hot it's been all over the country. Hurricanes and all these tornadoes and all this stuff. But this is the hottest month we're going into now. So let's hope that we don't get no severe weather up here. Climate change is real. But this is the time it's supposed to be hot anyway, everywhere. Hi, Doreen is blessed. All right. Recognize, Doreen. You are blessed, honey. You got up this morning and remember what your name is and where you live. Who your cheering is. They don't like how they look. But that's just they liked how they looked before. Right? I'm talking about the content creators. I'm not talking about people who are just in these panels and all this stuff. Get the reason for I don't get the reason for the beef sector. You don't get the reason for the beef sector? Girl, I don't either most days. Girl, they put that name of the beef sector and then people feel obligated to beef. That's what they're here for, right? No, it's just the name, girl. This sector ain't no different than any other sector. As a matter of fact, the what do they call this stuff? The carnal church, that sector, honey, they've been carrying on much worse than us. And there ain't no beef sector. They ain't gonna wear that label, honey. Mm-hmm. Somebody agrees with me. Thank you, Vote for life. Mm-hmm. But then you just keep hanging around. You'll get it. And I also want to take this opportunity to recommend Murder in the Beef Sector by Timothy Blaine. Get it on Amazon. It'll explain the whole thing, honey, and how things can go terribly, horribly wrong. What's going on, Tracy? Uh-huh. Doctor of Deception, good morning or good afternoon. Wind down Wednesday. Oh, is that what that was Justin J? Now, see, some of those guys, they were over here. He would never call himself no part of no beef sector because he was doing this thing before there was this beef sector. They just added that name at a certain period. Jay Wilson seemed to think he came up with the beef sector girl, but people were. I was here for 2 years before that, really. But a lot of people have moved on. They're doing. Even Wally has moved on. Wally claims to be doing a whole lot better. I think he's at 30,000 subscribers, but we're learning more and more that it's not really about how many subscribers you have because people have signed on and never came back to your channel, or they come back peeking in every 2 or 3 years. The main thing is how many people are actually watching you a day, right? How many people are actually in your chat and how many people are actually watching you. So Wally's doing a little better than he was over here, but the potential for his that market is much bigger because it doesn't just involve these 30 people over here, 30 people, 20 really active. But Justin J moved on. I haven't watched him in a long time, but he moved on to just entertainment, I think. I don't know that does he still beef? Or does he still, well, his thing was ranting, really. It wasn't so much beefing. He had a couple of beefs, but his main thing was just ranting about everything. Him and Walter Lee. They just tell you how they feel. Some people have moved on to other things. So don't think that your life is over if the beef sector crash and burns, because it probably will at some point, and you move on to other social media. It's a great big old world out there, honey. There's a great big old world right here on YouTube. I just like to hear because you get to know certain people, you get to know their personality because they're not behind avatars, and you've come to know these certain characters. So most of the people I consider beef sector people, I know what they look like. I know what they talk like. I know what they talk about, right? Because we got to know them as personalities. Hmm. What if they decided to do another show? How the hell you gonna do a show if nobody shows up? You got a show with nothing but avatars. I guess they would have them with like cartoon characters or something, girl. Everybody's scared. Don't be scared. Mm-hmm. It's hot because it's summer. Yes, it's hot everywhere. I know. This is going to be the hottest month of all. We're going into September now. It's going to be burning up. Whatever. I'm a homebody. I don't have an air conditioner here. Almost nobody in San Francisco has air conditioners. Now, I'm sure rich people probably have central air, but most people don't have air conditioner here because we only get 5 or 6 hot days a year, literally. We use fans and stuff like that. I usually cool off my bedroom because that's where I spend most of my time. Then the avatar, you run the risk of turning the camera on accidentally, like the heart of Philadelphia. Lord, the camera slips and things, child. Well, the excuse has been by most people, I don't want to be doxxed. Now, I don't know how you're going to dox somebody based on their picture, their face. If you're going to dox them, you don't need their face to dox them, girl. Well, I guess if you hide your name, hide your face, hide everything, hide where you live, then you can come on here and talk shit. I don't know how interesting that is, though. Mm-hmm. Treason, you behind the avatar now most of the time too, aren't you? I ain't blaming no particular person because it seems to have infected the whole damn thing. I hope it's not going to cause the destruction of it. We have to understand, though, that social media is constantly being developed and changing. But I think we may have to take that back in order to give some life to this beef sector thing, right? We want to be able to see people, talk to people, identify with people, honey. Oh, some of them camera slips, honey, it been ferocious. One of my favorite ones was when they showed that clitoris on Jay Wilson. Oh, that was a good one there, girl. I said, what the fuck? Where is it at, girl? This thing I had my magnify. I was, there it is. There, no, that ain't it. That motherfucker was so tormented by his camera slip that he wouldn't and lost 100 pounds. Based on a couple of days of roasting about your big ass. Wiley has grand plans. Well, Wiley's plans are not very realistic. Wiley gets stuck because he mixes in so many lies with his damn commentary. If he just stick with regular commentary, just tell the story, honey, people are just gonna listen to you because they like your take on it. But Wiley makes so much bullshit in with it, girl. And I like him. I mean, I find him amusing. Whenever I talk to him, he's a decent guy. But Wally does his thing is not, he's not really reading anybody. He is what they call roasting people. So when you're roasting, gagging, the stuff don't got to be real. I think that's the way he sees it. When they have the Dean Martin roast and all that stuff, they make up stuff. Just a little tinge of truth to it. You haven't seen Justin in a long time. He's still on here. I don't know what kind of numbers he's getting now. I think didn't he cross 100,000 or something? I don't even know. But you can't really go by these numbers though, honestly, because even if you look at some of these guys, who's I looking at? Even Jives and them guys, they have over 100,000, but their numbers are no more than a couple thousand. So who's looking at you right now? You have to go by, and it constantly changes, you know. Deandra Jameson Tracy blocked me, so I can't see her. Small blessings. Oh, so what Pete said, Deandra Jameson, she blocked me too, child. Tracy, what have you done, girl? Tracy blocking the children still? Tracy, you got to stop blocking people, girl, or you ain't gonna have nobody looking at you. You can't block everybody, honey. I thought she had stopped that. I don't have nobody blocked except for VS. Sometimes you block people and you can't get them back either. It'll say no one is blocked. Mm-hmm. Do y'all have an opinion on this thing? Would you rather see people take the time to actually put on their little performance? Now you even got fat ass Wilson behind. He's in the avatar in the car hollering. What in the fuck is that boy hollering about? Why are you screaming? Some damn diet pills, girl. Get off the pills, Jay Wilson. He has not 191,000 followers now. Who does Android TV? Justin J. Let's just do it real quickie. Hold on a minute. Let's see. I haven't watched him in a long time. I think he went almost exclusively into entertainment. Just 10. We ain't mad. Nobody's doing well. Okay, he's still the king of oh my goodness, his hairstyle, child. Okay, y'all young people, honey. Yes, he has 191,000. Okay. Well, that's good. It seems like all of his information, it seems to be, he does some interviews, mostly entertainment news. You can do that, if you enjoy that. 191 subscribers is good. 191,000. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. But y'all don't think it's strange that all three of them people be over there talking about the same thing? Parts of the video. I'm talking about Sean Bradley, Rick Reed, and VS. People who really don't have a lot in common. They're all identifying, though, that these people behind these screens is a problem. They've taken all the juice out of it, right? Ain't nobody behind no avatar got no right to be over here calling nobody ugly. And you're going to be ugly, I got to be looking at you while you're looking at me, honey. Mm-hmm. Okay. How you doing, Egyptian goddess 1111? I don't see my Tracy. Where's she? I don't think she's here no more. She stopped in. When Tracy comes over here, she has to be careful because she's friendly with that fool over there. So everybody watches everything. So she drops into a lot of chats, but she won't say very much. For me, I'd rather they fall out again because I enjoyed her going off on Jay Wilson. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So I don't know why she would surrender all that good content. Who am I talking about? Nobody. Avatars. I'm just saying that I think it's a mistake. We got on the wrong track. We need to change direction as far as all of these avatars go, right? Because what's next? You're gonna remove the voice, even maybe we'll use mechanical voices. And people are so afraid somebody doxing me. Oh, they doxed me. They doxed. Well, they used to call that the white pages. They know my address. They know my address. Girl. I hate people calling me sometimes. I say, where'd you get my phone number from? Oh, it's all over Google. Girl, they can find it. I mean, it's public information. It's all public information, nigga, or you wouldn't be able to find it. Right? So that excuse got used a lot in the beginning. Now people don't give a fuck. I'm staying behind the avatar. I want to talk my shit. I'm talking about you, but you can't talk about me. That kind of mentality. I like living my life out loud, honey. Tracy, you done offended a whole lot of children. Look like that. You got them all blocked. Those are your clicks and views, honey. Mm-hmm. Where's that? There's another one. She blocked me when I got to jail. Tracy unblocked them peoples. Tracy, she's not there right now. She'll look in. She'll get the replay. Yeah, Justin J. He never considered. He was never in a beef sector. He was around before we start saying beef sector. But before there was a beef sector, he was on here beefing. I think one of his victims was that makeup guy. It was a big black makeup guy, Queen, on here. They went back and forth. Mostly he would do rant videos. He would rant on. He may still be doing that. I don't know. AI voices and faces next. Lord have mercy. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me, honey. Especially when I go outside and I see all these cars driving around with no drivers. They last week they approved that people could go full time with these driverless cars, and then they had like 5 or 6 accidents in one day. So now they cut back their fleet. So they're still in the experimental stage, but mainly it seems like they've got to figure out how I'm talking about these driverless cars, right? There's still a lot of them here, particularly in the mornings. But there are still some glitches, some things that need to work out. These cars need to know how to identify a siren, fire department, police department, because what's happening is they're just going with the green light. Now, if a fire truck comes through, he's coming through the red light because he has his sirens on it blaring. So if these driverless cars don't recognize these sounds, they clash, and that happened this week in San Francisco. More than once, they've had several incidents of these cars crashing. So everything's got to be programmed in there. Every sound I guess they got to program them. A dog's crossing the street or whatever. Something's in there. I still think it's pretty remarkable, and they are still on the street. State of Being said, well, the Avatar's not going anywhere. And he has an angry little face on there. That's right, the Avatars. Step on them, King. Step on them, King. Lord have mercy. I can't keep up with all these young people's child. I would hope they would come back, because part of it is your words, but also is your appearance and so forth. Few people, whenever Phi Babe comes on, she still comes on real life. Of course, Asshole Wilson comes on real life most of the time, but she's starting to drift because she got to make videos going back and forth to work. What happened? Does anybody know what happened with the situation with between Phi Babe and the Jay Wilson monster? Because 2 days ago she threatened him. She said if he says her name again, she's gonna tell about his job with this veteran place, right? I already know the information. I'm not a doctor. I don't do all that posting information. But she said if he mentions her again, so the next day he comes back and mentions her again. So did she dox him then, or did she post his information? Did she tell him about the VA job? Ooh. We don't ever need driverless vehicles. Mm-hmm. Well, they work for the most part. It tickled the shit out of me when I first started seeing them. I think they have like 300 cars around San Francisco. San Francisco's not that big. It's only 7 by 7 miles. So that's a lot of those vehicles out here. They just recently approved them to be carrying passengers, charging money for it. It's not even been 2 weeks. So now that one of them was cut back, one of them's called Waymo. What's the other one called? I forget. Whatever. They'll iron it out, child. If they'd got it all the way that far, but this thing could go all over the city and pick people up and drop them off and all this stuff, go through all these lights, they'll figure out also how they can recognize or identify a fire truck or an emergency vehicle, right? We got to make sure that they're able to stop. They got to be able to stop on a dime too, because what if somebody runs into the street? A person could see that, but I don't know how a driverless car is going to see it necessarily. I mean, the vehicles are covered with sensors and all that kind of stuff. But I think this is a big test place because it's a technology-based city. Deandra says people take the beef offline too much. That's why people use avatars. Well, they've been kind of at a lull. Most of the ones who did a lot of that stuff are not here right now. Let me be quiet. Let me get the booger out of your eyeballs. I don't like no boogers in my baby eyeballs. It look ugly, like my baby not clean. Yeah, the main offenders who like to take everything offline and all that. I think there is something going on between the 7 Stars woman, which I don't watch her, and VS, whatever. Since I don't watch them, I don't know what's going on with them. But yes, all of this court involving the courts and all this kind of stuff, child. That's because you don't know how to talk. If you know how to talk, girl, you just talk. You ain't got to do all this extra, right? People take yourself offline, but they're not doing that as much over here. It's kind of thinned out. A lot of the people who we used to see every day, they're not on here that much. I'm only on here, I think, 4 days a week now. So I got a nerve be talking about the Slack money is just because I'm not on here as much. James, he still does his reviews, his shows reviews on his split board station. But as far as Treasure Lane, he very rarely comes on here. Rick Reed barely comes on here. Who are the other classics? Of course, Sean Bradley. He has had another resurgence lately, but he's not really a regular contributor on here anymore. So I think what Sean was saying is the new people need to come up with their own damn content and stop depending on us to get shit started just so they can just, comment on it from behind the screen. Would you go in a driverless car, Tim? I haven't done it yet. No, I'm not all that adventurous. Mm-mm. I barely go in a taxi car. Every time I leave the house, I'm either walking or going on the train. If I have to go on a bus to certain parts of the city, that's it for me. Because I'm never going more than a few blocks. Like I said, everything is right here. I live right in Castro. So one of the wonderful things about here is not actually needing a car. I was talking to a friend of mine who I hadn't seen in a couple of years since COVID started, and I was saying, "Oh, I heard your boyfriend got it. I saw him in his new car," and he said, "Oh, he got rid of that." And I have seen that over and over and over and over in this town. People come here; they're used to driving cars because they come from other places, the Midwestern place, where people need a car. And then they get here and they realize that having a car is just too much of a pain in the ass, particularly when you got to pay for the thing and all the insurance and all the maintenance and all that kind of stuff. Can't hardly find a gas station. You can't park. Every time you want to go to a restaurant, you got to allow an extra 30 minutes to try to find somewhere to park the damn thing. It's just too much of a hassle to have a vehicle. So, what was the question? Am I going to drive around in a driverless car? Never say never, but I haven't so far. Habiba. Habiba. I think it's how you forgive me if I don't pronounce your name right. Cruz is the other one. Okay, it's called Cruz. Is the other one, I believe. Yeah, there are two of them. They have nice cars too. Some of the cars are Jaguars. Other ones I think are Teslas or something. It's the future. I mean, we can't. I mean, it's the future, honey. I do see that there are more taxi cabs again. For a while, you hardly ever saw a taxi because everybody was doing this Uber and the other one. Everybody was riding around in those, but people were discovering that it's not much cheaper. It's no cheaper. You can just call a cab. I use Yellow Cab. I've had for years if I need to use a cab. But we're seeing cabs again. So, and also it looks like people are having a lot of issues with Airbnb, where the hotels are picking up some. And that was a big thing here was tourism. So they'll show you a lot of people doing commentary on San Francisco about how empty downtown is and all this drug use and all this kind of stuff. And they'll go to the Tenderloin or they go to Skid Row or somewhere and they show you the pictures and all that kind of stuff. But San Francisco is still a thriving. All the people who lived here before still live here, honey. It's still 800,000 people. So lost it again. Anyway. So the train is right outside my window, so I don't think I'm gonna be riding around in no driverless cars. I lost that again. I can't wait to get a. You can't wait to get a driverless car. Mm-hmm. They got to be somewhat safe, or they ain't gonna put them out there, child. That's why they cut back. The city forced them to dial back their fleet by half, 50%, while they figure out what they're going to do about these vehicles. During the Gay Pride Parade, there were driverless cars, that would get stuck in an intersection and because there was the roads were blocked because of the parade, right? So the car didn't understand what to do, where to go. He just got in the middle of the street and just stopped, right? He couldn't go through. There's nothing in their programming that says that there's this parade coming through once a year, whatever. But there are greater minds than me working on it. I can see how that'd be real sweet, like in a small town or somewhere where it's not all this traffic and stuff. That'd be great. Nobody on the road anyway. I'm sure them people is not putting billions of dollars into this thing if they didn't anticipate it working. That being the future. God never intended us to stay in the desert, honey. Although many people would have you believe that. Do I believe truck drivers will be out of work due to AI cars? No. No, that's too much weight to move around. Uh-uh. Yeah, they were I don't know. Panky Doe Troll. Pank Doe Troll. Pank Doe Troll. I don't know if that's going to drive. The biggest truck company just went out of business already, didn't they? Did they file bankruptcy? That's too much to be moving around without a driver, I think. Right now they're used for taxi cabs. Mm-hmm. Wayne Brady came out as a pan. Do you believe there are any 100% straight men? Honest answer. Sure, I believe there are 100% straight men. Just like I believe there are 100% gay men, myself being one of them. And even though I don't have sex, I'm still gay. It is your gay is your attraction, right? So yeah, I heard of. I don't watch sports. I don't care anything about sports. But yes, I heard that guy came out as pan. They usually come out as he said pansexual. That probably means gay. Usually, back in the day, used to always come out as bisexual, but they were actually gay. But they felt like society would handle bisexual easier or some kind of shit. The world keeps changing, people. Yeah, there are people who are 100% straight. When you get to prison, you find out though that's not everybody, honey. That's not by a long shot. A lot of people will have sex circumstantially. They're able to have sex. They're able to get an erection for men. Uh, Majority of these hustlers, people on the street, they're not. Most of them are not gay. They're just selling sex. So in order to sell sex, that means they would have to be able to get aroused by a male. Nobody wants to pay for no limp dick, no limp biscuit, right? So they're able to have sex in that way. People can have sex. People go to jail. Ain't nobody there, you know. So they end up with a queen. They doing 30 years. They'll never see another woman again in life. They have sex. There's all kind of ways. Sex is not always. And then women, I think, are even more fluid than men are. Certainly more accepted when they are. You know, people can touch each other. I don't know. I don't know everything, baby. Mm-hmm. Yes, but there are men who are 100% straight, and then not all of them have to be evil homophobes either. If you're secure in who you are, then you have no reason to hate other people for being who they are. It's only when you are insecure. I believe there are a lot of people who are insecure about their sexuality because of some incident that's happened in their life. It doesn't have to be an actual thing. It could have been a feeling they've had at some point in their life, and they are afraid of it. That's why they call them homophobes, right? Homophobic people, because they're afraid of something that it's within themselves. It's not just us. It's they're afraid of themselves. Or they hate what they feel like is in them, whatever. All kind of reasons about things about sexuality. You would think we would have figured all this shit out by now, but we probably never will. You wish you can get you a driverless car, take you to different states? Oh my goodness. Take it on the road, baby. That'll be the future. Some of y'all, you look young, Erica. So yeah, you'll probably experience all that stuff. Still trying to figure out how an airplane stays in the air, honey. When you consider what them things weigh and how big they are, they just jump up and run to the sky. That's always been a mystery to me. I said, how the hell they figure that out? Uh, me see. Try to track y'all's notes. Let me see. Did you see where? Okay. Okay. Yellow went out of business. Not here. Oh, Yellow, is that the truck company? Not Yellow Cab. That's there. So here. What's that thing called? The big car company? No, big truck company. Is it called Yellow? They filed for bankruptcy. Mm-mm. Yes, Yellow Trucking. Okay. I think that was major. They did a major, but we have to have it. You still got to eat. That's one thing. I mean, we still got to. If they close down one thing, they got to figure out something else. Maybe that company will just get broken down, and other people. I don't think they're going to just abandon the trucks, right? Maybe they'll break the company up, or someone else have to buy it. Still got to transport food. Got to get it from one place to the other. People said the trains were going to go out. Remember? They're still here. They're still doing a lot of freight on trains and boats and all kinds of stuff. Ooh, we're going to have passenger. Wait, next we'll be having passenger planes with no pilots. So you ain't got to worry about me getting on one of those, PDP. That ain't going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's my thing. What will a driverless car do if a child runs into the street and its only alternative is to run into a light pole? Yeah, I would think that those sensors should be able to, even if a basketball rolls, it should be able to stop on a dime. But we have the examples of that not working when they had the parades and the car became confused, right? Or if a fire truck runs a red light with his sirens blaring, they're allowed to do that, right? So same thing with police cars, and they end up crashing. So theoretically, it seems like that could happen as well. That you could actually have pedestrians. Maybe they've already programmed pedestrians type thing, but you have to program everything. Every possibility on the street, you have to program it. Because the car ain't got no brain. That's why y'all need to praise our creator God that put these brains in our head that hold all this information for 80 years, honey, and have us walking and talking and having all these senses and everything. That's a design as well. Hmm. Got a hair in my mouth? Oh, must be from the squeaky dog. Maybe when I gave him some sugar. News today said more than 39 near airplane misses. Ooh, the air last month alone. All the old folks are gone. These Gen X millennials are at the hams. Yeah, I saw one a couple of days ago where the pilot, the airline pilot, was out there beating the shit out of the guardrail to go in and out of the parking thing. I said, girl, is he stable enough to be up in an airplane, girl? He had an axe out, child, chopping out the you know that thing that goes up when you bring your car in and out. But if he don't have that much control, should he really be up in the airplane? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Uh-uh. Next will be okay. So y'all don't have a strong opinion about the avatar. So maybe the avatars are not really bothering everybody. Maybe it's just us. I just feel like if you're going to have a channel, if you're going to be a content creator, I think you do better to be a personality, to have to come live. That's going to be the end of this thing. When it comes all avatar, why bother? There's so many other places to watch. Anyway, so y'all have a wonderful day. Ooh, it's hot up in here. I got to go and cool off, honey. I've been making these damn. My friend gave me a Ninja blender. I think I mentioned it before. So I've been making these nice, cool drinks with ice in them and frozen strawberries and all that kind of stuff. I've really been having a ball with it. I've had blenders before and never used them. I had one in the box and ended up giving it away. But now I really got into this one. So I'm going to make myself a cool drink. Try to relax. Y'all have a wonderful, what's today? They have driverless teams in Europe. They have driverless teams in Europe. What's a team? Oh, so the driverless phenomena is not only happening here. Okay. Ooh, imagine a pilot with road rage. Hold on a minute, people. Calm down, you ding dong. Be quiet. Oh, hello. We got a new haircut. Oh, you still hanging in there? Just barely. Thank you. Oh, everything that happened to me, that's been good. The Lord did. Okay, my Amazon package. I told you I got a new stove. Can y'all see it in the background? Look between those two guys and that one head. You'll see the stainless steel back there. I got the hood, the backsplash, and a new stainless steel stove. And now I got this thing here he just delivered is like cooking utensils and all that. That hangs over the stove. It's gonna be cute. Not although I don't cook, but I like things to look cute. My refrigerator arrives tomorrow, and I'll be all stainless in. You thought that was trade coming to the girl? Trade ain't came to this door in years, honey. It'd be nice to open up the door and there's a piece. Child, they were a lot of No, I'm fine the way I am. I don't need no trade coming to the door. I don't even know where I live and nothing, guru. Anyway, I was in the middle of saying goodbye. All right, you guys, y'all have a wonderful Wednesday, hump day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.